Hello, hello, my friends. It is time for my early October candle chat. This is a series that I like to do twice a month on my channel. I always say like to do or aim to do because, as you guys know, sometimes a lot of life happens and I don't always get around to doing it. But I have the time today to go ahead and sit down and share with you guys what is currently in my candle burning rotation, as well as share 3 candles that I recently purchased, and just share any kind of like extra little information that you might like to have. So this is just a very laid back series. I typically like to do my dedicated candle reviews throughout the week, and then on the weekends, I like to try to upload some like in front of the camera type of content. So if you like this video, please make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Consider subscribing to my channel if you are new. I like to talk all things candles here on my channel. But yeah, let's go ahead and dive into this. As always, all of the candles that I'm talking about today, I will have listed in the description box down below with some timestamps. But yeah, we've got, as always, this video, there's always a lot to talk about. So let's go ahead and start chatting, why don't we? I think I'm going to go ahead and do things a little bit in reverse order here from what I've normally done. I think I'm actually going to share with you guys what I have recently purchased, just to kind of, we're just going to change it up a little bit. So this week I had 2 4-wick candles that I recently ordered from Kringle arrive on my doorstep. Now again, I did place an order for these. I purchased these candles. I am a Kringle brand ambassador, and you should always know, if you're new to my channel, I will always make a clear distinction with any of the candles that I'm talking about on my channel if I have purchased it or if a candle was sent to me in PR. I do always believe in being very transparent about that. So these 2 candles I did purchase with my own money. So the first candle is actually from their new holiday release. They did send me the 6 fragrances in PR, which was very kind of them. And I actually did a dedicated review on one of these candles already in the 2-wick. Spoiler alert, you guys, I am actually almost done burning the 2-wick version, but I had mentioned in that review that I was really interested in picking it up in a 4-wick because I wanted it to be just a little bit stronger. It is the fragrance Cinnamon Apple Wreath. Now, this might catch some of you guys by surprise if you only caught my first sniffs video of the holiday collection, because I had mentioned that this one, I wasn't so sure what to think about it. Fragrance notes on Cinnamon Apple Wreath are cinnamon stick, baked red apple, sparkling mandarin, clove bud, mulled cranberry, sugared berries, warm woods, vanilla bean, and golden amber. Now, one of the things that I did make very clear in the dedicated review of this, and I will repeat it in case you are maybe just looking at the label and going, oh, that looks beautiful. I would love like a tree scent with some apple on it. That's not what this fragrance is. And in fact, I kind of think that even the name of this is not really accurate. This fragrance to me is a really nice, like cinnamon vanilla with a tinge of fruitiness in it. It's not overtly fruity. This is just like a nice spiced vanilla, kind of creamy. No tree note at all, no green note. So again, Wreath, a little bit misleading. Now, you do get a tinge of apple in here, but this is not like fall time apple. This is not even really like overt apple. I think it just lends a little bit of sweetness to the fragrance. But I really like this scent. I did make the comparison in my dedicated review. It's not the same fragrance, but if you tend to like Bath & Body Works Cuddle Weather, I think that you would like this fragrance because I feel like they're kind of like distant cousins. They're in like the same extended family to my nose. Yeah, this one's just really, really good. It's very versatile. I feel like starting for this time of the year all the way through the colder months, if you are somebody who is a seasonal burner. But I did mention that the 2-wick, it performs best as a complementary fragrance in my bedrooms right now, which are more closed concept spaces of my home. So I said, you know what? I want to go ahead and pick it up in a 4-wick and see maybe if that'll give me a little bit more oomph out here in the open concept. So I did go ahead and purchase this when it became available a couple of weeks ago. And then the other fragrance, you know, I think I'm actually going to put this down here. The other 4-wick fragrance that I purchased from Kringle, you guys, this is actually one, it's been on my radar for a while. I remember when this fragrance was initially released, people were saying that it was, they liked it, but that they wanted it to be a little bit stronger. And so I picked up the fragrance Knit Sweaters. Now this is a little bit out of my normal wheelhouse. Fragrance notes on knit sweaters are floral, coconut, cedarwood, sandalwood, amber, benzoin, oriental, and musk. Now, the main reason why I purchased this candle is because I think that this is going to complement the cozy and warm fragrance, which I also recently picked up in a 4-wick. That's kind of like a creamy coffee type of scent. This to me is very like, I smell this scent and I think of right after the holidays when I'm wanting a change up, but this is still a very like, it's a very clean fragrance. It's kind of in that family of like, if you like fresh linen types of fragrances, which might surprise some of you guys because I always say fragrances like that tend to give me a headache. But there's something about this one that I really, really like. It's fresh, but it's not too fruity. It's not screaming summertime to me. But this is also, there's something cozy about it. I think that how they've named it Knit Sweaters, maybe that's just the play on the words, and that's why I'm associating that with it. But I feel like this is just going to complement the coffee fragrance a little bit. I don't know. I feel like it's going to be a good blend. And both of those fragrances were released at the same time. So maybe that's also why I'm thinking like, oh, they're going to blend nicely with each other. But yeah, I really, really like this one. It's clean. I did have this in a daylight first to make sure that I liked the fragrance. And I remember when I got it in a daylight, I was like, oh, I like that one. But I just never got around to ordering the 2-wick. But I like this one. It's very fresh. Like I said, I feel like this is going to be the perfect scent. Not that I'm thinking about this yet, really, or like looking forward to it, because I really enjoy the seasons when I'm in them. But you guys know how it is after the holidays. Once you like the holidays have passed and you've put away all of your decor and you're ready for like your home to kind of be decluttered and just like have that like fresh restart, I feel like this is going to be a good fragrance. If you like the, this kind of is in the same vein. If you liked the fragrance, I think it was called Gold and Cashmere. Again, not a repackage, but like it's kind of in that, it's like an elevated fresh scent. That's what I would describe here. You get some of those floral notes in there. You get a little bit of that sandalwood note. I'm definitely smelling sandalwood and cedarwood, a little bit of musk. It's kind of perfumey. The amber is in there for sure. I smell amber. But the floral and coconut in there is also beautifully done. Really, really like this one. I think this would actually be a really great year-round fragrance if you're somebody who likes those fresh fragrances and you're not really a seasonal burner. And then the last candle that I have recently purchased is from the brand Snif. Now, I have talked about the brand Snif before in terms of their personal fragrance. I love, love, love quite a few of their fragrances. I love the fragrance Hot Cakes. I have their Extra Whip Body Mist. I have their Gentle Reminder, which is a collaboration with, I believe it's Alex L. And then she also collaborated with them initially to create the fragrance that is my most complimented personal fragrance that I own in my collection is Snif's Heal the Way. In fact, I will have a post-burn candle review coming up for you guys this week on the Heal the Way candle. So I, spoiler alert, had a good experience with that candle. And so I thought, well, let's go ahead and try another candle from the brand. And so I purchased this one, Mornings at Levain. This is their newest release. This is a collaboration with the Levain Bakery in New York City. I've never been to New York City, but my friend Drew Yock here on YouTube, he is a huge fan of all things New York. And so I know he was really, really excited about this. He was kind of filling me in on the bakery and, you know, its history and whatnot and how much he loves getting products there when he goes to New York. So this is a 2-wick candle. It is only 8.5 ounces. This does retail for $46, you guys. That's pretty pricey. Now, little tip and trick I would give you guys for the Snif website, make sure you sign up for their rewards program because they are quite generous with accumulating rewards points and being able to redeem them. But the other thing that I would say about Snif is that if you go on to their website and write a review for one of their products, they will email you a coupon for 25% off. So I was able to use a discount on this, so I didn't pay $46. Now, I have burned this once already, and I'm going to tell you, I like it. I don't think that it's a love, but let me go ahead and share the fragrance notes with you guys. The Mornings at Levain, the fragrance notes on it are Levain Cookie Accord, Sea Salt, cocoa resinoid, chopped walnuts, creamy organox, and fluffy musk. Now, this, to me, it definitely smells like a bakery, but this is not your, it's a gourmand fragrance, but it's like, it leans a little more savory to my nose than it does sweet. It's good though. Like, it's unique. And I think that's part of like what, like my brain is trying to think, like, what do I really think of this fragrance? Because typically when I think of like a bakery gourmand, I think of like sugary, sweet type of fragrances. In fact, when I get around to telling you guys what I'm currently burning in my house, oh man, my house smells really good right now, but it's a different kind of gourmand. It's a sweet, sugary gourmand. This is more, yeah, this is like a savory gourmand. I get a hint, just a hint of chocolate in here where they say that cocoa resinoid. Typically, my nose doesn't like chocolate fragrances with very few exceptions. And I feel like this is one of the exceptions. I do like this. This is a fragrance, truthfully, you guys, I think this is going to be a one and done for me, but I do enjoy it. It's definitely just a little bit more unique. I was burning it the other day with Caramel Sundays Bakery on Main, which, you know, we'll talk about that in just a moment, but that's a different fragrance. That is like a really like vanilla cupcake gourmand type of fragrance, whereas this is more like, it's like they're baking cookies, but also there's bread being baked in the same bakery. I don't know. If you guys have ever been to the Levain bakery and you've had this candle, let me know. Does it smell authentic to walking into the bakery? But I will keep you guys updated and posted. I will do a post-burn review on this candle in case you are interested. So those are the 3 candles that I have recently purchased. Now let's go ahead and talk about what is currently burning in my house right now. It's actually all Caramel Sundays right now. So I'm looking over right here at my my little quilt rack shelf over there. Currently over there, I have the fragrance Falloween burning. Now that is in one of their 4-wick 40-ounce vessels. Let me look up here. The fragrance notes on Falloween are top notes of Belgian waffles and pistachio cream, mid notes of sugar cookies, base note of autumn spices and butter. Okay, so that's a fragrance that I initially wanted to purchase in a 2-wick during the September restock. Last minute, I decided to go ahead and get it in a 4-wick. I do not regret that decision. That was a great decision on my part. Here's the thing with that fragrance. On cold sniff, I definitely, the first note I smelled was that pistachio that Caramel Sundays is known for. However, this is one of those candles that takes you on a journey as you burn it. So the first couple of burns on it, the first burn, I got a lot of that pistachio note mixed with like a very like sweet waffle, almost cloyingly sweet, to be honest with you guys. I was like, ooh, I'm not so sure about that. However, this is one of those fragrances that if you let it keep burning, the mid note there of sugar cookies, and then they say autumn spices and butter. I'm going to tell you guys, after about 2 hours of burning this candle, that's the note that I start picking up on. It's definitely more, it becomes more of like a sugar cookie note. You get a little bit of spice. It's not red hot cinnamon. It's not clovey. Like the spice is very, very much in the background. Very much like if you've ever made sugar cookies from scratch, like my sugar cookie recipe from scratch has me put just like a pinch of nutmeg in it. That's like what this candle smells like when it is burning. This smells like almost like sugar cookie dough. It's not really like, I would say, I guess it's like sugar cookies baking in the oven. It's really, really good. But those first couple of burns, I got more of like a waffle and pistachio note in it. And I wasn't so sure how I really liked that blend because it was coming across super, super sweet. And I will even say, even now, the first like hour, hour and a half of the burn, that's typically what I smell. But the longer you let it burn, the more it transforms. Right now, I've actually had it burning, you guys. I've had it burning for almost 6 hours. Right now, I've just had a busy morning. And this morning, my daughter made a, what did she make? Like a pumpkin coffee cake. Ooh, that was in the oven. This candle was going. My house just smells so good. In fact, right before I sat down to film, my mother-in-law came by to get something. She walked in my house and she was like, oh my goodness, it smells so good in here. And I was like, I know, right? It does smell good. So that is a fragrance that unfortunately it's not coming back in the October restock. They're done with their fall and Halloween fragrances. But if they bring that one back, I would definitely say that that's a good one. I'm really glad that I made the decision to go with a 4-wick on that. And that one right now is throwing for me. It's a good solid 9 right now. It is just filling up my entire house. It's really, really good. The other fragrance from Caramel Sundays that I'm burning in my daughter's bedroom at the moment is the fragrance Graveyard. So that was kind of a last minute addition for me as well. It is the, it has fragrance notes of top notes of apples, sweet ginger, almond macaroons, mid notes of juniper, cranberry, crunchy leaves, base note of cedar, amaretto, and vanilla. That fragrance to me, I'm liking it. It's not like a love and I need to repurchase it, but do I regret purchasing it? Absolutely not. It actually pairs really nicely with this Falloween candle. The Graveyard candle to me is almost like, it's kind of like in the same, like I would put it like outdoorsy, fruity mix as say like Leaves or Autumn from Bath and Body Works. But then there's a slight gourmand element that's added into it. That is the amaretto note as well as the almond macaroon note in there. It's very much in the background. It's more of like a fresh mixed with a slight element of gourmand. I would say it's like 75% fresh, 25% a little bit gourmand. But I do like the fragrance. I will make sure to do a dedicated post-burn review on that one for you guys. But I do definitely get some of that like juniper and the cranberry, and there's kind of like a leaves accord. There's not a ton of woodiness in there, but maybe a tiny bit, which would be the base note of cedar. Again, it's a nice fragrance. Strength and throw on that one though, it's not a barn burner. I would give it about a 6, which is why I'm burning it in my daughter's bedroom right now. It's definitely filling up that smaller closed concept room. But out here in the open concept, if I put it in a hurricane, I can smell it quite well, but just on its own without a hurricane, not so much. And then the last Caramel Sundays candle that I am currently burning in my bedroom is the fragrance Witching Hour. I did do a post-burn review on that one already. Top notes of cranberry and musk, mid notes of pralines, base note of icing and ginger cookie. I like that fragrance. I did mention that it's very cranberry forward to me, which I like a cranberry scent, but I do think that the addition of pralines and maybe whatever the musk note in there for me, if I have it burning for too long, it starts to become a little bit too tart for my nose and I don't enjoy it as much. It almost starts to smell slightly acidic. Like if you've ever, like I don't like cranberry juice, for example, because it's almost too tart for me. That's kind of like what it does to my nose if it's been burning for too long. But usually about 3 hours of burn time is good for me with Witching Hour, and then I extinguish it. It's burning in my bedroom right now. Again, it's a nice complementary scent to this Falloween. So I will finish burning it, but it is going to be a one and done for me. Strength and throw on that one, also pretty decent. It's between like 6.5, 7 without a hurricane. When I put it in a hurricane out here, it definitely amps up the performance. So got those, got some of those. That is what is currently burning. Let's go ahead and talk about some Homeworx candles that I have been burning. If I did make a community tabs post about this, and I think I posted about it on my Instagram stories the other day. Homeworx or Slatkin & Co. up until October 8th is actually running a promotion where if you use an affiliate or ambassador code on the website, instead of getting the normal 15% off, they are upping that to 25% off. So just know the affiliate codes are always eligible for a commission. My affiliate code with them is KATIESJOYFULLIFE. And yeah, so it's kind of nice that you can, get a little bit of extra savings. They did actually start putting on some of their, they've uploaded to the website some of their like holiday fragrances. I've seen like Christmas Joy, Winter Fireside, Frozen Balsam is on there, White Birch. So like some of their holiday favorites are back on there. They've also got some new hand soaps. Don't sleep on those hand soaps, you guys. I've actually really, really fallen in love with that hand soap formula. And I'm starting to slowly accumulate them for the holiday season as well as beyond that. I do actually have a little bit of PR on its way to me from Homeworx, so hopefully I will be able to do a separate video. I'm hoping to have that up maybe Tuesday or Wednesday for you guys this week to just kind of spotlight, because they are, there's another candle that they sent me that they're going to be having in collaboration with QVC that I want to share with you guys. So hopefully I'll have a video up on that again Tuesday or Wednesday of this week. That's what I'm aiming for. And then I think I'm supposed to have a couple of candles delivered to me tomorrow. They're actually repeat candles that I've had before, but why not share them with you? But while we are speaking about Homeworx, let's talk about a fragrance that this was just my most recent dedicated candle review. This is the fragrance Pumpkin Gingerbread. Fragrance notes on here are pumpkin puree, harvest spice, ginger zest, and vanilla caramel. And if you caught that dedicated review, you guys, I'm actually kicking myself for not having gotten more of these. These are now out of stock on the website. If you come across them in your local discount retailers, I'm seeing in the Facebook group that a lot of people are finding candles at Ross right now. So if you come across this fragrance, Pumpkin Gingerbread, give it a sniff. I love this. Now, I do tend to like gingerbread types of fragrances, but the pumpkin puree in here kind of tones down the zestiness or the zinginess typically that I find in gingerbread fragrances. It also keeps it from feeling distinctly Christmas-like to me. I feel like this is a fragrance that's perfect as I'm transitioning from fall to holiday scents. Like this is going to be like the best fragrance to burn like late October, early November. My Christmas decor isn't up yet, but I'm kind of moving away from all of the traditional fall fragrances. This one is really, really good. But what I did mention in the dedicated review, you guys, if you bought Pumpkin Ginger Snap last year and you have a lot of backups of that, you did not miss out on this because guess what? When I did the comparison of the fragrance notes, this is actually a repackage of Pumpkin Ginger Snap. So if you had that in 2024, you didn't miss out on this. But also, if you happen to come across this in the wild and you liked Pumpkin Ginger Snap, now you know it's actually the same fragrance. So performance has been very good for me, burning hot and fast, but also good strength and throw. This one's a good solid 8.5 in terms of strength and throw for me. But this one I'm kind of nursing along a little bit, probably more so towards the end of the month because I'm just really, really loving that fragrance. And part of the reason why it's also reminding me of the holidays is because I've been pairing it with another Homeworx fragrance, which is Cypress Fir. This was sent to me in PR from the brand back when they were doing their Christmas and July specials. So I think I got this back in late June. Fragrance notes on Cypress Fir are fresh cypress, fir balsam, Palo Santo, and amber. And this one to me, you guys, I love a good fir fragrance. This one is nice. It's fir. You get a little bit of that kind of like smoky resinous accord that Palo Santo typically brings with it. Just a really nice like warm tree type of fragrance. So I've been burning this usually in one room and then the pumpkin gingerbread in another, and it's got me all excited for the holidays. This one has also, I feel like it's picked up a little bit in strength and throw from when I initially had it back in June. I do believe that I did a dedicated post-burn review on this. I have a lot of tree fragrances in my collection, so I didn't feel like it was necessary for me to repurchase. But you can check to see if this is still available on the QVC website because this is a really nice fragrance. And while we are mentioning the fragrance note of Palo Santo, here's a fragrance that did not come back in a 4-wick this year, but it is the fragrance Palo Santo Pumpkin. I had one of these in my closet from last year. Fragrance notes of Palo Santo, pumpkin puree, cinnamon stick, and suede wood. Now, this is a fragrance, you guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I think this is one of those scents that's kind of run its course with me. I think this is the 3rd year now in a row that I've had this in my fall lineup. And while I enjoy it, I think that I'm finding that I'm loving a couple of other fragrances a little bit more. I still do like it. I feel like they knocked this label for this fragrance out of the park because this fragrance totally matches this kind of gloomy, spooky type of vibe. It's not overly scary, but it's like a fall day, but it's cloudy. Maybe you're at the pumpkin patch. This definitely has kind of like a mysterious kind of smoky vibe to it, but it's not firewood smoke. Again, it's the smoky note that you get from Palo Santo. A lot of people know what I'm talking about when I say Palo Santo is not, it comes across smoky, but it's not like a bonfire smoky. That's the best way that I can describe it. It's kind of sweet and resinous at the same time. But this one's good. You get a little bit of pumpkin in here too. But again, this is one that I will finish enjoying it for this season. This is like a perfect October evening type of fragrance. So I've been burning this one. Now the wicks on this one are a little all over the place. They want to kind of lean and fall over. This was a March of 2024 pour, so that kind of makes sense. I feel like Homeworx has made some improvements with their wicks drastically in 2025, so yay for doing that. Let's go ahead and switch up the brands a little bit here from Homeworx because I still do have 2 more Homeworx candles to talk about. But one of the things, I have actually been brought out 2 of my Kringle Halloween candles. Now, I am filming this video on Saturday, the 4th. As of the time that I am filming this, this candle is still back in stock, and it's still in stock. This is the fragrance Lil Devil from the Boo Crew collection. So the Boo Crew was restocked on Friday the 3rd. And like I said, as of the time that I'm filming this, everything is still in stock. The only 2 that are out of stock are Howlin' at the Moon and Bobbing for Apples. They did not repour those. But all of the other 4 fragrances, the Lil Devil, Scary Movie Night, Ghost Stories, and Boo Hoo, have all been restocked. So that's kind of nice to see those on the website. I was sent the Lil Devil in the puppy and the kitty format in PR. I burned through the puppy one already. I bought another Lil Devil in the kitty one when I was at the Kringle store back in mid-August. And yeah, so I just started burning this one again, you guys. This fragrance to me is, it's nothing that like hasn't been done before. It's not totally unique and out of the box. Fragrance notes of lush pumpkin, sweet nutmeg, creamy custard, spicy clove, cozy cinnamon, rich maple syrup, caramelized sugar, earthy carrot, and warm vanilla. This, if you are a fan of Yankee Candle's spiced pumpkin, kind of in that vein. It's a little bit more, I would say it's a little bit more creamy and dense than Yankee's spiced pumpkin. There's also a slight vegetal quality with that carrot note in there. But I really, really like this. This actually dethroned Pumpkinhead for me as being my favorite spicy pumpkin fragrance that Kringle came out with this fall. Funny story about the Pumpkinhead, you guys. I bought a backup of it. I was initially sent it in PR, and I loved it. But by the time I got to the end of it, I wasn't loving it as much. And of course, by then I had a backup, and I was like, okay. Here's the thing I think that like I can't get it out of my head. A couple of you guys have commented, and I've also seen it in the Kringle Facebook group, that some of you guys smell in Pumpkinhead, you guys get a dill note. And ever since I've seen that, I'm like, I sniff it and I'm like, oh my gosh, I know what they're talking about. And now I like can't get that out of my head. So I have an extra Pumpkinhead in there. I don't know. I'm going to hold on to it, see maybe if I feel differently about it next year. But anyways, if you guys want to know what my favorite like gourmand pumpkin scent of the season has been from Kringle, it is definitely Lil Devil, and that is available on the website now. I do have an affiliate code with them, Katie15, should save you 15% on that purchase if you are still interested in purchasing from the Boo Crew. But another Halloween candle that I have brought out, and this is one of those ones, I did not get a backup of it this year when it returned, and I'm kind of like, ugh, I should have done that. But then also I know that there's always going to be more fragrances that I like. It is the fragrance Haunted Hallows. Fragrance notes on Haunted Hallows are wood smoke, fir, herbal, apple, patchouli, and musk. This is like a fir tree with a little bit of that, like, but it kind of has that eerie vibe with the wood smoke in here. A lot of people say that they really like this as like a fall to holiday transitional scent because there's kind of a Christmas tree note in here, but you do smell some apple and you get the wood smoke. I was burning this in my daughter's bedroom the other night, and she was like, "Ooh, it kind of reminds me a little bit of like Christmas, but also it's a little bit spooky smelling." And I was like, "Yeah, it's a really nice fragrance." I am almost done with this. I feel like I've got maybe 2 more burns on this one left before it'll be done. But this is just a great fragrance. Again, though, this one for me is initially when I bought this last year, the first like half of it, or like the first like third of it was pretty strong. But I did notice this year when I went to do the post-burn review on it, it just wasn't giving me as much oomph in the open concept. I would say strength and throw on this is about like a 6 for me. It gets a little bit lost out here in the open concept, but it does perform quite well in the closed concepts, which has been okay for me. I have actually been burning it with a Caramel Sundays fragrance. Now, this is a 4-wick of a candle that I already burned from them. I already finished a 2-wick of this. This is their fragrance Fall Cider. So I've actually been burning this out here in the living room. I've been burning Haunted Hallows in one of the bedrooms, and then in the other bedroom, I've been burning the Cinnamon Apple Wreath, and that has been a really nice combination. But Fall Cider, let's see, has fragrance notes on it of, I finally started writing them down. Fall Cider has fragrance notes, top notes of spice cider, mid notes of tart apple, caramel, base note of warm brown sugar, and clove. This is their take on Bath & Body Works Cider Lane. Love this fragrance. Cider Lane has always been a favorite of mine at Bath & Body Works, but you guys know that I personally prefer soy wax and a little bit cleaner ingredients as of late. And so I definitely, when I heard that, I was like, okay, I'm going to give it a try. I will say that this one in the 4-wick is a lot stronger than it was in the 2-wick. The 2-wick was pretty decent for me, but this one is definitely much stronger. This is a good solid 8 for me in terms of strength and throw. Really, really nice fragrance. So I have been burning that one. Oddly enough, I've kind of liked it as like a late afternoon type of burn. It's kind of cozy and exciting. The other Caramel Sundays candle that I did want to touch on really quickly, and I will repeat this like assessment or whatever, because I've been getting a couple of questions from people over on Instagram, and I've had a couple, I can't remember if I've seen some in videos, more so I've been getting some DMs on Instagram asking me about this. So the other fragrance that I was burning this week is my giant Bakery on Main candle from Caramel Sundays. Now, that is the 150-ounce vessel. That size is making a return for their October 19th restock. So I've been getting a couple of questions from some of you guys saying, like, how does that burn? Would you recommend it or whatnot? And so here are my honest thoughts on the big, giant 150-ounce vessel. Would I buy it again? Yes. Why? Because that is still my #1 vanilla gourmand fragrance. I have mentioned this over and over again. For me personally, vanilla gourmands are really difficult to make strong, and this one nails it for me. It's everything I wanted it to be. Now, here's the thing that I am going to say that you might want to be aware of with this larger vessel. The circumference of it is a lot bigger, which means that the type of wicks that they've used for that vessel, they are much thicker than the wicks that they use even on their 4-wick 40-ounce vessels, and thicker, obviously, than the ones that they would use for the 2 wicks. The trade-off that I'm finding with those larger wicks is that you really have to keep an eye on them, not because they're going to fall over or like they are sturdy. They are like trees in the wax pool. They are not leaning over or whatnot. But because they burn so hot, because again, bigger circumference, they're trying to get that nice deep wax pool for you. They burn very, very hot, which means that there is an increase in sooting on that candle. I do notice it more so as the wax level is lowering. So like when it was higher up, I didn't notice it as much. But the lower that I'm getting down in the vessel, I am noticing some sooting around the rim. Now, again, keep in mind, that's because if they were to use their normal wicks for their 4 wicks, and you know what? I will do a comparison, you guys, in my Caramel Sundays preview video for their restock. I'll do a comparison just to show you the comparison between, like, say, this 4-wick size and the vessel circumference, like the opening with those 150-ounce ones, just so you can kind of get a better idea and you'll see. But I did include some B-roll so you can see what I'm talking about, that those wicks, they just burn a lot hotter. So what I do with those wicks is that typically, you guys, after about 2.5 hours of burning that candle, sometimes 3, I will extinguish the wick, trim it, and then relight it right again. Now, the other thing that you do also want to keep in mind with that size of a candle, you want to be lighting that up when you have a lot of time at home. That is not a candle that you light up to just enjoy for an hour or 2. I would say that the thing that you need to remember with soy wax in particular, 100% soy wax, is that it does need to get a good wax pool and it needs to get somewhat deep for you to maximize the fragrance release. So I only burn that Bakery on Main when I know that I am going to be home for quite a few hours. Now, it pulls out pretty quickly. I would say it completely pulls out, I would say within an hour, hour and a half for me. But I really start to notice that candle starts to throw the best, probably around, like, I can smell it for sure within that first hour that it's busy pulling out. But the maximum effectiveness I'm getting on it is after about 2 hours on it. When it's starting to really start getting that deeper wax pool, you get 3 hours, and now we're cooking with peanut oil, right? So anyways, if you are concerned about, I want to say, like, if you're concerned about the sootiness of it, that's the only thing that I would say would be the drawback. But I don't really think that that's, for me personally, I will still repurchase the candle, because to me, I'm finding ways to try to mitigate it. Does it completely take all the soot away? No, it's just a byproduct of the circumference of the candle. I'm getting too many words. Circumference of the candle needing to get that wax pull deep. The wicks have to burn a lot hotter. It's the same thing that actually, truthfully, some people have commented on the Homeworx Luxe candles, those big like 80-ounce vessels. And the 150-ounce, you guys, that's almost twice the size of the Homeworx 80-ounce ones. But people have noticed that the 80-ounce Homeworx ones soot a lot more than the regular 4 wicks. Well, that's because it's a bigger opening and, you know, there's more wicks. There's just a lot more that goes into it. I will say that for me personally, the best way that I am able to get rid of the soot around the vessel is that once the wax has completely cooled, I'm done burning it, I actually take a baby wipe, just wipe out the inside, and it looks good as new. So that's just my 2 cents, but is the Bakery on Main 150-ounce that is going to be available maybe on my wish list? Quite possibly, because I still really love that fragrance. It is a statement piece. It is like a centerpiece type of thing. So that was a long spiel about the Caramel Sundays Bakery on Main, but just in case some of you guys have been wanting to ask me for an update on that, as you are maybe making your list for their October restock, those are my thoughts. Those are some helpful things that I feel like you might want to know. Whereas like the 4-wick 40-ounce vessels, I don't have any issues with the sooting. So that would be the only thing that I would say. Okay, 2 more Homeworx candles that I wanted to talk about here. Pumpkin Cold Brew. You guys know how much I love this fragrance. This was actually probably one of, if not my favorite, I think it was my favorite discovery from the 2024 Homeworx lineup. We have fragrance notes here of sweet pumpkin, espresso, toffee, vanilla cream. This is a beautiful, like, coffee and pumpkin fragrance, but there's a little bit of sweetness of toffee. I have mentioned that this fragrance to me is very nostalgic. I don't know if my mom had like a pumpkin coffee when I was a teenager that she brewed, or if she had a candle that smelled like this. Probably a mix of both. But oh, this one, there's a nostalgic vibe to it for me. I really, really love this scent. I did order 2 of them this year when it made a return to the Slatkin & Co. website. As of the time that I'm filming this, it's still in stock. But I love this one so much. It's warm and inviting. It just gives me all the cozy feels. Again, you get some of that pumpkin note in here. It's not overly sweet, a little bit of creaminess of vanilla. You get the coffee note, but it's not like super acidic, bold coffee in your face. I just really, really like this one. This was one of the biggest surprises for me last year, but strength and throw on this one has actually been pretty good for me as well. Good solid 7.5 I'd give it in terms of strength and throw. Really been enjoying that one. And then I have been pairing that in the mornings with chai pumpkin latte. Fragrance notes on this are chai tea, spiced pumpkin cream, vanilla bean, raw cane sugar. Now this I actually received in a duo. So back during the Christmas in July, I purchased the vanilla almond creme. They initially sent one to me in PR. I like that fragrance a lot. It reminds me a lot of Bath & Body Works pistachio and toasted vanilla. So I was like, you know what? I want another set of this. So I ordered it during Christmas in July. And during that time, they had an auto ship option available when you purchased that. And so this was the first auto ship that went out after that, the chai pumpkin latte in a duo. And this to me, you guys, I don't feel like I need backups of this, but this is a nice fragrance. It's kind of like a spicy chai scent. You've got some pumpkin. There are elements about this. It's not, whoa, goodness, that was a little loud. It's not the same, but if you like Bath & Body Works pumpkin carving, I think that you would like this. Similar components to it. Not a dupe, not the same. This one's a little bit spicier, but it's kind of that same like pumpkin note that you get in pumpkin carving. Kind of a little bit sweet. Yeah, it's like a sweet pumpkin, spiced pumpkin cream, chai tea. Really, really nice. I did do a dedicated review on this one. Mine's been performing quite decently for me. I'd give it about 7.5 in terms of strength and throw. But this one has been pairing really nicely with the pumpkin cold brew. It just gives me like all of the nice, warm, cozy vibes in the morning, you know, especially now that the mornings are starting to cool down. This morning, actually, I woke up and I think it was 57 degrees outside when I woke up, which if you're new to my channel, I live in Arizona. So it does not cool down until this time of year. And even right now, you guys, it's 82 degrees outside. Like that's fall to us. Fall is weather in the 80s during the day, nighttime, maybe high 50s, low 60s. that's fall to us. And so I was just so excited to wake up in the mornings, open up the windows, get some fresh air. Again, opening up the windows and getting fresh air is a big deal when you've had your air conditioning running since late May. I am ready for some fresh air. And so having fragrances like that, you know, combined with that, it was just gives me all of the fall feelings. So let me know in the comment section down below if any of these are in your burn rotation. Did you purchase any backups of the Boo Crew? Are you excited for holiday releases? I always like to hear, what are you guys burning? Have you tried the Snif Mornings at Levain? Is Snif a candle brand that's on your radar? Or are you kind of like, for me personally, you guys, I purchased from them very, very minimally just because of the price point of a lot of their candles. But so far I've had a good experience with them. So maybe I will venture into them a little bit more. Let's see, what else am I trying to think of? Yeah, just, you know, chit chat here. Life is good around my house. This weekend, I actually am hoping to film some post-burn reviews for you guys. I actually have a little bit of a quiet weekend. My kids will be on fall break next week from school. So my husband took my younger two kids camping this weekend, and my oldest daughter, she has to work, so she stayed behind with me. Actually, tonight I'm all gussied up because I'm going out with some friends. I actually had a birthday this last week, so I am now officially 41 years old. Very, very thankful for 41 years of life. So anyways, some girlfriends and I are going to go out tonight for dinner and just enjoy a good time. And then I'm hoping the rest of the weekend maybe to do some shopping with my daughter and just enjoy. It sounds kind of funny, enjoy my house being quiet. I know those of you who are empty nesters say, you know, enjoy all the chaos and crazy in your home, which I do embrace, but every once in a while I like a little bit of a reprieve. Cleaned my house yesterday. It's actually staying clean right now. So yeah, just enjoying kind of a quiet weekend. I'd be curious to know what you guys have for any kind of big fun fall plans. Always curious to hear what you guys have going on. So anyways, you guys, this video has gone on long enough. Again, please hit thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Consider hitting that hype button. I think I explained that in one of my videos. If you want to hype up this video, feel free to hype it up. But anyways, you guys, I do want to say thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.